Hey, it's Bernadette. We're going to talk about the national health crisis in Peru today because it's important for people to understand what's going on in the globe. And while you may not live anywhere near Peru, the fact that they issued a 90-day health emergency nationally and it's making the news because they're being rocked by Guillain-Barre Syndrome, which is an unknown virus of the system. The reason that I want to talk about it with you guys is because I think it's important that you understand some of these health crises, and that you aren't fed a line of BS that they can't be cured or whatnot. So I'm going to share this. Say hello when you get here. Trying to put it in my group too. Hello, everybody. So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the news, but Peru, in fact, did issue a national health emergency. I'm going to read a little bit about like what they said and why it matters to us here in the U.S. and wherever. Hi, Brenda. How are you? So it says a national health emergency has been declared in Peru, which is rocked by an unusual increase in rare Guillain-Barre Syndrome cases, GBS. Through the health ministry, though the health ministry is taking all efforts to analyze the reasons behind the sudden spike in the rare autoimmune disease, researchers believe that behind the recent outbreak, there could be a link with an increase in the Zika virus cases. So they've had a lot of Zika viruses. 90-day national state of emergencies declared for Peru to allow authorities to speed up the purchase of supplies. There's been a significant increase in recent weeks that has created the need for all of this. So here's the symptoms of GBS. And what they say is it affects the body's immune system and starts to attack the nervous system. A lot of viruses do that. But this virus is an unknown. It's what they call idiopathic, which is of unknown origin. Okay. It is not all that unknown when you know what causes certain things. And what they've said in this report that I read, it says GBS is triggered by other infections. You think? Respiratory and gastrointestinal infections could trigger the virus. Studies have found that COVID-19 infections could trigger it. This is why it matters. Viruses like cytomegalovirus, CMV, and Epstein-Barr, which I talked to you guys about a lot, could also trigger the virus. So why does it matter? Because this virus acts a lot like some of the other things like multiple sclerosis and some of the other idiopathic things like chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, and even arthritis. And to me, here's the thing you need to hear. Like, there's a lot of viruses going on. I'm not trying to scare you. What I'm trying to tell you is just because they don't know doesn't mean no one knows. If you follow me for any amount of time, you know I've talked at length about Epstein-Barr virus, EBV, which most of the population has. It's very high. Tuberculosis, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, a bacteria, is another one of those things that most people have. And you don't know because you can be asymptomatic. I just worked on a client the other day in my office who is a radiology tech. He takes like MRIs, CAT scans, and he was explaining, and I said, it hides. He goes, oh, I know. He said, when we put someone in for an MRI or a CAT scan or whatever, they lay them down and they shoot it up under the clavicle because TB will hide there. And someone will come in for a scan for something else and it will be caught in the x-rays. He said, it looks like cotton balls on the x-rays on your lungs. A lot of people are walking around with TB. And even though you may be asymptomatic, it will cause chronic fatigue. It can cause fibromyalgia. Malaria can do that too. And you can sit here and tell me like, oh, I don't have any of that. We all have been exposed to a lot of that. Epstein-Barr is what causes mononucleosis, but it causes a whole lot of other things in the body, right? As it gets to the later stages, it will cause depression. It will cause paranoia. It will cause fear. It can cause schizophrenia. It can cause anger and upset and like PMS, premenstrual syndrome, PMDD, which is, premenstrual dysphoric, whatever disorder. That's a new one for a lot of people, which is like once a month you get massive anger, anxiety, fear, all kinds of paranoia and whatnot. And it happens once a month. And on top of that, your stomach goes to hell. You can't sleep. It can cause insomnia. So they are tying this Guillain-Barre syndrome to potentially COVID. Maybe Zika caused it, maybe because they find a mixture of cytomegalovirus, which a lot of people that I've worked on with biomagnetism have that too, and then the Epstein-Barr. And I have found Epstein-Barr in almost every single person that I've worked on. I think there's only been maybe one person that I worked on that didn't have Epstein-Barr in their system, but they had other viruses, they had other pathogens that were at play. And a lot of times you're not going to have symptoms, or you think it's not tied together. But this one, GBS, again, it's a nervous system. It goes after the immune system, shuts it down, and then attacks the nervous system and affects your breathing. It affects your upper body. You can't climb the stairs, your facial movements, speaking, swallowing, all those things become affected. You can have double vision. Now, that's also the symptoms of myasthenia gravis. And I have a client that I've been working on with that. And then you get high blood pressure and cramping pain, and it can kill you, this GBS, if they don't find the cause of it. Because viral, right? There's no antibiotics that will handle virus. They have to treat it with an antiviral. But so far, I don't know that they've been successful at that. And I mean Western medicine or allopathic medicine. Magnets can handle it, even long distance. So if any of you are like, yeah, I've been sick and I need some help, I can deal with acute, I can deal with chronic, doesn't matter. What I want to empower you with is to understand how the body works. These viruses and pathogens are hiding in your body. Epstein-Barr has the ability into the cells to go in stealth and shut down the ability for your immune system to recognize it as a virus. And Epstein-Barr is one of the most prevalent and damaging viruses because it goes after the brain. It goes after the brain stem. It will shut down your breathing. SARS-CoV-2, COVID by itself, not a big deal. You mix it with something like Epstein-Barr and strep that's remaining in your system. And most people that have had mono or have Epstein-Barr have had strep. Those two dance together. They're dance partners. What does it take for it to blow up? Immune system drop. What causes that? Stress, anxiety. Oh my God, we live in a stressful and anxious world. So you have to be good about recognizing what's happening and don't buy into the fear and hype about, there's nothing we can do. You just have to live with your symptoms. I know people have healed multiple sclerosis by changing their diet and doing the magnets. I reversed with the guy who does my nails for my dog, reversed 15 years of nerve pain from a traumatic brain injury and stomach pain that he had to have surgery for from an unknown virus that he got in 2009. So y'all can help yourselves, right? But you do have to change your diet. Lots of people are coming to me. Hi, Andrea. A lot of people are coming to me with various things, and I'll work on them. But, one of the first things I do ask after we go through the symptoms and the medications you're on and all this stuff is, what's your diet? What's your diet? See, my nail trimming guy, he's been living in massive pain for a number of years. I got his pain after the second session down to a 0. Nerve pain, burning, stinging pain all the way through his body, down to a 0 on Sunday. It stayed at a 0, which he had not felt for a number of years. He's like, is it weird that I feel weird that I have no pain? He was like texting me till midnight Sunday night. And no, it's not weird because you're used to feeling pain. You're waiting for it to come back at any moment. And he didn't feel anything. And he went 15 hours, no pain, till the next day around 1 o'clock in the afternoon while he was working on the dogs out in the heat. I had rice. The next thing he told me, sausage biscuit. He had brats. He had tacos, greasy, hard, all on the liver. And he had been on medication for a number of years up until about a month ago that shut his liver down. I mean, his liver's operational, but barely. And he's got, he had surgery on his stomach. They removed part of his intestines years ago and then put him on pain meds just to deal with it. Oh, well, live with it. He's 33. No, you shouldn't have to deal with it. And he didn't have any hope that he could get out of pain. 2 sessions down to a 0. And then it spiked back up to like an 8 or a 9. And he did not want to hear from me when I told him, you need to go plant-based. You need to get rid of dairy. You need to get rid of bread. You cannot eat any meat right now and no preservatives. Like, you're going to have to eat plant-based. I gave him some meal replacements, plant-based meal replacements to help him until he can pull it all together. And he believed me, but he didn't do anything about it. And Tuesday, he ate again and his pain spiked again after we had gotten it back down again. Yesterday, he changed his diet. And by the afternoon, he's like, I'm at like a 2. This is crazy. Can diet really do that? And I'm like, yeah, diet can really do that. And so what I'm telling you is, and why I'm telling you about diet, you think these things are not connected. They're absolutely connected. What you put into your body is either going to be toxic and poison and attacks your immune system and weakens your immune system, or it's going to be nutritious and it's going to feed you. And people will say to me, and like he did, well, what am I supposed to get for protein? Plants, fruits and vegetables. Your brain needs fruit to function properly. He told me that he talked to a dietitian who's one of his clients like months ago, and he asked her what to eat. She said, eggs, eat meat, stay away from vegetables and fruit. Don't eat too much of that. I'm like, excuse me? That's the opposite of what your body needs. I don't know where some of the dietitians are getting their information other than maybe the American Heart Association, who got their information from the meat industry and the dairy industry. Cool, whatever. You don't have to listen to that. I told him, your body's obviously reacting to your food. I'm telling you, there's no reason for you to go from a 0 and spike up and your stomach hurts, your liver hurts, and all this stuff. And we're at day 2 now, and his pain is down to a 3 and holding steady. I don't know what he's eaten and drink. I just checked in with him with his pain. And I tell all of this to you because this all started for him with his stomach after he had his hockey accident and hurt his brain. And he woke up one morning and was vomiting, and it lasted for a few days, and the doctors never figured out what it was, but they took part of his intestines. Then they put him on pain meds, and he has been on pain meds since 2009 with no hope. He thought, oh, this is just genetic. No, it's not genetic, because his family members have stomach problems. Here's the deal. Viruses are passed from parents to children. I am not very proud to say this, but I passed all of my viruses on to my kids. Both my girls have endometriosis. They have Epstein-Barr, right? We pass them on to our children. You live with someone, you pass your viruses, bacteria, pathogens, parasites onto your partner. But it doesn't mean that you just give in to, well, I'm sick, I've been sick, they don't know what to do about it. Just because traditional medicine doesn't know what to do with it doesn't mean that alternative healthcare has not evolved. It has. And here in the US and in other countries, in fact, it was created in a third world country, biomagnetism therapy works beyond belief, miraculous, like instantaneous. The minute that boy laid on my table and I started putting magnets on, he's like, wow, I can feel things moving around. Yeah, it happens. So whether it's acute, whether you're local to me or you're not, really doesn't matter to me. I love to work on people in person because it just moves like that. Long distance works just as well. Sometimes if you're not sensitive and your mind gets in the way, you're not going to feel it as much, but you're still going to get results. I have clients have come to me and we're very skeptical results. And if you look through my page, you'll see those. The girl who I've been helping with myasthenia gravis, Susan, who I did an interview with, we'll do an update for you guys. It can help, but it's up to you to take care of what you're putting into your body. And right now, your best defense for a lot of these weird viruses going on, which are only going to continue to grow, is eat properly. I like to look at things holistically. Body, yes, physical, but also your mind, because your mind determines the things that you do, the emotions that you feel, and the actions that you take. And then emotions, and from a spiritual perspective, what's going on there too. But from an emotional perspective, you hold emotions in the body. There's a book out there where The Body Keeps the Score. It's a good book. There's other, I think, better books. Emotion Code's a good book. I think is it Bradley Nelson that wrote that book? If you want to know more about those things, but start with for yourself by eating better. I know a lot of you are like, I don't want to go plant-based. I don't know how to eat plant-based. Spirit's been telling me clean up your diet. And I'm going to issue you guys a warning. One of the reasons I came on today is because they had me do a whole download to my Charm Life group last night. And I'm not going to get deep into what I told them, but I will tell you this. Things are speeding up. I'm sure you can feel it. Like time is flying by. Time is just like, what is going on? It's compressed, it's fast, it's moving. The energies on the planet right now are ridiculously high, and then they drop and bottom out. And if you're experiencing fatigue, headaches, chest pains, that just tells you there's something going on in your body that you need to address. We all need to, according to Spirit, understand that we are evolving right now, like rapidly evolving. Our minds are evolving, our spirits are expanding, our bodies are having to adapt and evolve to the changing conditions on this planet. Extreme heat, extreme weather events, earthquakes, you name it, we're affected by all of them. The earth is evolving and changing and adapting. So we have to adapt. The best way to do it, however, is to go back to what does your body need? Not what do you want. If you haven't watched the movie yet, What the Health on Netflix, or like Food Inc., right? Go watch those movies, or like Super Size Me. Those are really good movies to watch to understand the lies you've been told about the food that you're putting into your body and the drinks that you've been putting into your body. If you are in your middle age, whether you're a Gen Xer or you're a millennial, doesn't matter to me. I'm 56. It can all be cleaned up with health. This 33-year-old man was like suffering. And he is just like, I've never heard the stuff that you're telling me. Never heard it. And I get it, which is why I'm here. And I hope you guys will share this information. This crisis in Peru, my hope is that they get this handled. I know that there are some biomagnetism practitioners in Peru. I hope that they're operating in a place where they're helping the people of Peru. But I know too, the viruses going around here in the US right now are combo viruses. I talked about it a couple months ago. It's COVID, it's RSV, it's Bordetella pertussis, it's hand, foot, mouth. Like they're a combination of viruses because all the viruses are just combining, and they will knock you on your butt. You'll get the cough, you'll get the fever, you'll get the body aches. What you don't want to end up with, because it is triggered by other infections, like they're saying this GBS outbreak in Peru, cytomegalovirus, Epstein-Barr. There's other ones they don't talk about, like I said, tuberculosis, that are very common, especially in the US and Europe. Address it and your symptoms start to disappear. Eat better and your body can recover. When you have liver problems, you end up with heart problems. When you have nerve problems, typically it's because you've got inflammation in your body. What causes inflammation? Eating offensive foods to your liver, and your liver cannot keep up. What you could eat. Well, I could always eat that when I was younger. Yeah, me too. Until you can't. You don't want to end up with colon cancer like I did. You don't. It was a horrible experience. Got through it, did it naturally. That's why I can tell you point blank, food has everything to do with it, what you're putting into your body. But if you already have viruses, if you already have bacteria, if you are not addressing your parasites and any funguses like mold, black mold, whatever, it's going to take longer to turn your health around. If you want to go faster, get in touch with me. We can do a long distance session, or if you're local, you can come into my office in San Antonio, and I'll put you on my table and we'll put magnets. Feels like, you had a refreshing nap. It's really great. How do you keep it going? You eat properly. Be aware, okay? So that if you get sick and you end up in the ER, urgent care, or at your doctor's office, and they're like, we don't know what it is, we don't know what to do, or start doling out prescription drugs to you, because antibiotics will tear your stomach up. And they are not going to go after viruses. They will not treat viruses with antibiotics because they do no good. And then if they give you steroids, steroids can create more damage than good. Steroids will suppress your immune system. And when that happens, these little pathogens in your body blow up. They're opportunistic. And then you end up worse. Maybe your symptoms disappear for a minute, but then you end up sicker on the long term. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Do you have any questions? Every time I talk to Susan, she's like, you've got to share this stuff with people. Like, oh, I know it'd be easier if I could have a conversation with someone rather than just be a talking head, because I have a lot of knowledge, and it's so much easier for me when I'm having conversations with people to answer questions. So if you guys have questions, put them in and I will answer them right here, right now. I am thinking about putting together something in my group, a Zoom kind of call in my group. What used to be called Burning Gold is now Holistic Evolution. So if you want to join my group, it's free, but it's a private community, Holistic Evolution. Let me know and DM me and I'll send you a link. You're welcome to join that community. They're amazing people. A bunch of my Charm Life graduates are in there and people who followed me for years. But I am thinking about doing some sort of a Zoom in there where we can jump on and we can talk about this kind of stuff. We can talk about the role emotions play, trauma plays, where it gets stuck in the body. And in those places, it becomes pockets, places where pathogens can hide. Epstein-Barr, like, I can't scream from the rooftops enough for people to educate themselves about the symptoms of Epstein-Barr and the later stages of Epstein-Barr, because Epstein-Barr, it's stealthy. Your body cannot recognize that it's a pathogen. And all these things that people are like autoimmune diseases, your body's attacking itself. Your body's not attacking itself. Your body's attacking viruses that they're not testing for. Your body's attacking pathogens like bacteria and parasites they're not testing for. So it may feel like your body's attacking. Your body does not attack itself. It's just trying to go after these pathogens and encase them so that it doesn't keep spreading. Unfortunately, most people's immune systems are pretty compromised. Most people that have any kind of stress in their lives on a consistent basis, their adrenals are tapped. And a lot of these viruses love feeding on adrenals anyways. People with anxiety, higher at risk for these things, right? That's so funny. I'm talking about him. I wonder if he knows that. He's not on Facebook. He's like, I just had a salad and smoothie, 2 meal replacements with celery powder. And he's drinking celery juice powder because they don't have a juicer. But yeah. So he's listening, but he did not want to hear no meat. No meat. Andrea, I know you are plant-based. I know you're vegan. And I'll tell you guys, I know how difficult it is. And it seems like a monumental task to change your lifestyle, to eat healthier, but do it for your health, do it for your longevity, and do it for the quality of life. Now, I don't care about quantity. Like, to me, I don't care how long I live. I want quality. Give me quality. I want to use my limbs. I don't want to feel pain. I don't want to have headaches. I don't want to be tired every day. I don't want to be emotionally reactive. And when you have a sluggish liver, when you have a toxic liver, your emotions, hard to control them. I like no meat. It's actually easy. Yeah. And if you go 30 days, so I'm gonna put out this challenge to y'all. Go 30 days without eating meat, without eating dairy, without eating gluten, like bread, pastas, all the stuff. 30 days, processed food free, meat free, gluten free, dairy free. And you tell me how you feel at the end of 30 days. The first time you put that poison back in your body, you're going to go right back to no meat, no gluten, no dairy. I think I can guarantee you. We've gotten used to this diet. Now, I was explaining to Jarrett the other day how he was asking me about food, and I was like, Asia didn't have a problem with obesity, heart disease, cancer, the way that we did here in America and Europe until recently. So what changed? McDonald's moved in to Asia, places like South Korea, Japan, China. Starbucks moved in, spike the adrenals, give some food to the critters living in your body. And same with, I said, China, Japan, South Korea. Like fast food moved in. Subway moved in. That's what happened. Changed their diet, where they were predominantly in Asia, they were predominantly soups and vegetables and rice, plant-based. Yes, they ate meat occasionally, but not all the time, right? Even in Japan, a lot of their stuff is vegetables, rice, right? Soups. They didn't have the carb load. They didn't have the processed meats. They didn't have the deep fried French fries and all the stuff. And now they have an epidemic of obesity, heart disease, and diseases that they were not struggling with before. That's what changed. All the sugar in the food. If you guys knew how much sugar was dumped into hamburgers and hamburger buns for McDonald's, you would never eat at that place and you would never take your children there. Same with chicken tenders. If you even knew what made up chicken tenders, you would never take your children there. You just would. If they would be forced to label it properly, then you would understand why your kids keep getting virus after virus after virus after virus, why they're struggling with brain fog themselves, why they're having issues with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. That's why. So, well, we've got viruses appearing all over the country, and this is a big one. And the reason this one caught my attention, the Guillain-Barre, is because it is an unknown nervous system virus. And the nervous system is responsible for your motor movements, your breathing, your smile, your chewing, you name it. That's what your nervous system, it's responsible for so much. And when you lose the ability to use your muscles, swallow food, I don't want that for anybody. Fast food contains things that make you crave it and want more of it. Absolutely. I mean, the fast food industry, they have their own research labs where they formulate how much sugar to add, how much this to add, how much to make it addictive. And they know it's addictive. I was telling my class the other day, like, if we were to take these corporations, these big, huge McDonald's and all the rest that formulate these foods that are poisoning everyone and turn them into individuals, same with the pharmaceutical industry, we would judge them as sociopaths and psychopaths. We would, because they put profit over lives. They don't care. It's about profit. But we don't do it because it's a corporation and it's legal. Let them do it. But they're serial killers. In my book, you're serial killers. And I'm not going to support you. And I'm not going to put your garbage into my body. Not going to happen. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all those companies too. Poison. And that, my friends, is why we're all getting sicker and sicker and sicker. Take control of your health. You have the ability. I don't care what, if you have Lyme disease, if you have fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, endometriosis, like I don't care, polycystic, that's the other one, PCOS, Epstein-Barr. I don't care what you have. It can all be addressed. Your body is an amazing, organic miracle that can regenerate, but you actually have to do things to get your body realigned. Biomagnetism can help put everything back in proper alkalinity, but to keep it there, you actually have to change your lifestyle. And I'm more than happy to help you guys with that. Like, I am more than happy to help you guys with that. One of the people to follow would be Medical Medium. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Go get this book, Secrets Behind Chronic Mystery Illness and How to Heal. We don't agree on everything, but we agree enough that I recommend his food protocol. He's got free recipes on his website, medicalmedium.com. Go check out his recipes. They're amazing. Celery juice, drink it every day. If you don't have a juicer, go to my biomagnetism page on my website, scroll down halfway, and you'll see a link that says recommended supplements. And I recommend organic celery juice powder. It doesn't taste as good as fresh juice, but it does the trick. It does the same thing as the fresh pressed juice. So if you don't have a juice and you're like, I can't juice, Bernadette, I can't do celery juice. Oh, yes, you can. And it's like $25 a month for that powder. You can. There's always a way, always a way. So whatever health conditions you are facing, if you just have low energy, if you've gained weight, if you can't seem to lose it, if you have Hashimoto's, thyroid. So here's another one, Epstein-Barr, thyroid disorders. It goes after the thyroid. Hashimoto's, Epstein-Barr. Hyperthyroid, Epstein-Barr. Mix them with something else. All the time. See it all the time. Anyhow, that's what I wanted to share with you. I know I haven't been doing as many lives. I'm trying to make myself come back on and get more regular. But between my monthly group, Hidden Wisdom, which if you want to join that, you get a monthly forecast from me. I do a breakdown of the elements like fire, earth, water, air. Do a monthly forecast, what's coming up and what to be prepared for, what the lessons are for the month, and the energies presented for the month, what your challenges are going to be and what the highlights are. And then once a month, we do monthly coaching on the third Wednesday of the month. And there's replays for all of it. So if you want to be part of that group, it's very affordable. It's $40 a month US, and you can come in and join us. On top of having access to me, you know, for some of you are like, I can't work with you one-on-one. You can't come into Charm Life because that's a big investment, or you've already been in Charm Life. You still want to work with me, still want to have access to my communities. Come into Hidden Wisdom. Like, you can afford $40 a month if you've been eating at McDonald's, just saying. Just saying. But within the community, within the website for the community, you have access to my teachings on numerology, on astrology, on the gene keys. I've done so many talks that you have access to. And anytime something big is happening, I will go in there and do a talk and include it with the things that they have access to. So you can get, it's monthly, $40 a month. That's all it is. The one thing I will tell you right now, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to give you the kind of warning that I gave everyone in my group last night in Charm Life, because that took a while to explain all of the downloads I've been getting. But I'm going to explain this to all of you energetically, from an evolutionary standpoint, from a warning standpoint. The last time I gave the kind of warning I gave last night to my Charm Life group was January 2020. And if y'all don't remember what that was, go to my yearly forecast, January 2020 and February 2020, before COVID was a thing yet. And I called the shutdown before it shut down. I called the lockdown before it locked down. You can go back in my videos on Facebook. The reason I'm telling you this is because it is that kind of a download and warning from Spirit. They said everybody needs to start taking the health of their body seriously. You need to manage your thoughts and your emotions, and you need to prep yourself for fast moving evolutionary things happening on the planet. Clear your mind, connect your intuition. If it was my wish, y'all would come into Charm Life. You would do that inner work that we do on a very deep, deep level that will shift your whole way of perceiving, your whole way of operating in the world, and give you your power back. That's my wish, so that you can outcreate no matter what's happening circumstantially, so that you can show up as love, right? So that you can hit flow and not force and push. That would be my wish, that y'all come into Charm Life and do that work. And I'll hold your hand as you go through a high touch group program. The people in there that have come through that program are amazing. The people still in that program, amazing. We've been running since 2014. But if you can't, do whatever you got to do your inner work. Do it, because you're all being pushed internal, like turn inward. Stop looking out there. The answers aren't out there. All of the answers are within you, which means you have to face your fears. You've got to process through your past. You've got to strengthen your own resilience and make connection to your higher self and source energy, so that you are on the cutting edge, so that you are bringing the light everywhere you go, and you're not sucking into patterns of survival anymore, and you're not sucking into crisis mode living and jumping from thing to thing to thing, only exhausted at the end of the day, and you're not saying yes to everything that comes your way because you feel like you got to make everybody happy. Don't want you living like that, and that is not serving you. If y'all are looking to go to the next level in your life, I don't care if it's financial, if it's health, it's within your relationships, just your own self-worth and confidence, get in touch with me. Apply for Charm Life. If you're a good fit and I feel like you're going to mix in with that group, because I am very protective over that group, you can come in and join us in Charm Life. You can join for 3 months as a trial, or you can join for the entire year and get her done. Get her done. Like, your whole life will change. I've had people say to me over and over again, I don't know why I waited. And people come in for health issues. We've had people with chronic health issues come in and reverse those chronic health issues like that. Tina's one of them. We had Tina come in last August, and within a couple of weeks, she had like debilitating eczema. And within a couple of weeks, what could not be solved since she was 12 years old, resolved. She couldn't work because she couldn't wear clothes. Her eczema was so bad. And now she's skating and dancing, and she's back to work. She got the job she wanted. She manifested that like amazing, exactly in the field that she wanted. But when she came, she was at her wit's end and ready to just be done. It's like, I can't live like this anymore, because her health had deteriorated so badly and the doctors couldn't do anything. So for some of you that have never watched me, you may be thinking like, wow, she does a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's called holistic living. Body, mind, spirit, all of it. We cannot isolate one, because they all have to do with you. They all make up you. So I'm here to help you on all levels get to the highest level. And if you can't work with me, you don't want to work with me, cool. I'm fine with that. I bless you and bless you and bless you. Work on yourself, though. Let's keep bringing the light, all of us together. We got to unify now. It's time to take it seriously, because we're going to see some more outbreaks. And like I said, last time I gave a warning like this, last time I felt like this, like, holy crap, something's coming. The last time I felt this was December and November 2019, and then January 2020. This was the last time I felt this way. So those of you who've been following me for a while know very well, like I know, Andrea, you know very well, when Bernadette gives a warning like this, take it seriously. It's not me. I'm just delivering the message. I'm just the messenger. And I'm here to support in whatever way I can. I'm here to serve in whatever way I can. I want to see you guys on the upside of this, so that you can help hold people up, the people you love, the people you care about, the people that matter to you. And to me, that's also the animals, the dogs, the cats, the birds, the fish. It's the environment. It's Mother Earth herself. We have to start changing our ways, and we are being called to do that. But first, we have to work on here, because it's us, humanity, together, that has created the devastating effects that we're now dealing with the consequences of. So let's fix it. I love you guys. I hope you have a good day. That was a long one. I don't know when I'll be back, but I'm trying to be more regular. I know I'm going to pop into Burning Gold here and there. And I shared this into Burning Gold, not Burning Gold. Now it's called a Holistic Evolution. We renamed it. So if you're in that group and you're like, what happened to Burning Gold? Oh, you're in it. It's just called Holistic Evolution. Spirit's having me like turn everything up, like really turn everything up. So anyways, all right, I'm out. Have a wonderful weekend wherever you are in the world. I love you. I bless you. I'm sending energy to you. Hang on. It's going to be a ride. See you guys.